Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Mr. Cameraman, and today I'm going to be talking about The Flash Season 2. Is it still good? If you haven't already seen my first part to this, The Flash Season 1, is it still good? That's in the end of this video, I think. Now, getting on to the actual video, before we get into it, I'd like to quickly just say, if you haven't already seen the teaser trailer for my new Phantom Spider-Man, The Kingpin of Time, that's on the description of this video, and at the end, I believe. Now let's get right into the video. So, if you want a quick recap on what I said about Season 1, I said it's still pretty good. I thought there were some episodes I looked forward to and weren't as good. Some I didn't look forward to and were way better. And I'd say a lot of that stands up for this season as well. Again, I kind of agree with my old thoughts. I don't think it's nearly as good as Season 1. But I don't think it's anywhere as good as bad either. I'd say it's like the second best season of the show by far. But I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to that far off from Season 1 either. So, let's get into it. So, I'm first going to just talk about the general thing. If you don't really know what happens in the show, like, this season we have Zoom as this very scary, horror-y villain, and Barry kind of goes on all these, like, adventures and things like that. So, I'm just going to quickly go through the episodes, because I feel like that's kind of easier. So, beginning with Episode 1, I really think Episode 1, it kind of sucks. I do not think that Adam Smasher is a great villain. I don't think that's a great villain for Barry to fight in this opening. Episode 2 I really like because I think Sandman, or whatever his name is actually a really good villain. And yeah, I just really like him as a villain overall. Like, he's like a difficult villain for the Flash to face. 3, I don't remember particularly, so probably sucks. Same with 4. I don't remember either 3 or 4, which means they're probably not good. I do remember 5, though. That is the first of the 2 episodes of Dr. Light. This one is pretty good. This is when we start getting introduced to Harry more and people like Patty Spivot and all the characters we'll talk about at the end. But I really like Episode 5. Episode 6 is generally agreed to be one of the best episodes of the season, so going into it, I was really excited, and I completely agree. It's definitely one of the best episodes of the season. I really like Zoom being brutal and things like that. Episodes 7 and 8, I don't remember. I just don't remember them, so I just don't remember them. But I do remember Episode 9 because it's one of my favorites. It is Running to Stand Still. This doesn't have anything to do with the overall arching plot, except this episode we have Patty, we have Harry at their best, and let's just also throw in Weather Wizard, the best side villain of the show, Trickster, the second best side villain in the show, and Captain Cold, the third best side villain in the show, and make it a real-life comic book where they give children presents that are actually bombs that will explode. So, I really like the plot of this episode, and it's one of my favorites. Moving on to Episode 10, I don't remember. 11, same. 12. I feel like there's probably some good episodes I'm forgetting, but I do remember 13 and 14. That is the 2-part Welcome and Escape from Earth 2. Those are 2 really good episodes as well. I really like the plot of Barry and Cisco and Harry going back to Earth 2 and having to fight all these trials. I don't really remember 15 that much. I do know 16 though. That is Trajectory, one of the better episodes of the season that I thought was awful my first watch around, and I was not looking forward to this episode at all until I revisited it, and I was like, this episode is actually one of the best this season. So, moving on, 17, 18, I don't remember 17. 18 is memorable. This is when Barry loses his speed. Another episode I never really loved, but I like it a lot now. 19 is when Barry's normal. I personally just don't think it's good that you're in a show with the character having super speed, and he just doesn't have super speed in this episode. 20 is another episode I was like, this episode isn't that good, but it turns out it's one of the best episodes of the season. And this is when Barry gains back his speed and he has to decide, does he get his speed, what does he do, and Rupture's a great villain and things like that. 21, The Runaway Dinosaur, another episode I thought was awful, yet coming back to it, it was one of the best episodes of the season, which is a running trend for this. I thought a lot of the episodes, I feel like, are a lot better in this rewatch. Invincible is the only one on this list that I'd say kind of let me down. This, in my opinion, used to be my favorite episode of the season. I love the Barry's plot of feeling he's invincible and everyone trying to tell him he's not, because it's the most creative plot the Flash has ever had, because he's basically a god, and they're like, they're not, and it's a really fun plot. And Henry dies as well in this episode, and it's the best scene, one of the best scenes in the entire show, but the only issue I have with it is that leading up to it kind of sucks. Finally, we have episode 23. It's okay. It's not a great finale, but it's not bad either. So, now to talk about some of the characters. We have Barry, who I'd say is pretty good. I'd say not as good as the first season, but still really good. We have Cisco, who I'd say is a bit worse, but that's just due to the writing. Caitlin, I'd say the same, is just a bit worse. They don't have much to do with the characters anymore. Harry Wells and Patty Spivot, I believe, are two of the best characters. Again, Tom Cavanaugh is still the best actor the show's ever gotten and ever will get. And, Patty Spivot is a great character who's fun for that half of the season. Moving on to the other characters, we have Iris and Joe, two pretty good characters. And, of course, the main villain, Zoom. In my opinion, not as good as the Reverse Flash, only because the actor isn't as good. But as for the villain himself, I think he's way scarier than the Reverse Flash. I think Reverse Flash has, a tie-in to Barry, which makes sense. But I feel like Zoom is way scarier than Reverse Flash. Even though Reverse Flash had a tie to Barry, he wasn't ever scary. So I like that in Zoom. But overall, I really liked Season 2. I think it's really good still. So what are my 3 favorite episodes of this season? I'm actually going to do top 5 instead of top 3. Last season I think I did top 3, but this time I'll do top 5. So in 5th place is episode 16, Trajectory. I think this episode is pretty good with having this new speedster. And again, this one's really good, only because the ending's just really good. 4th place is going to go to episode 20. Unlike episode 16, I think the entirety plot of the episode is really good, and I also think the ending is really good as well. Episode 3 is going to be Enter Zoom. I really like Zoom being brutal and things like that, and I also like, what's her name, Linda in this episode. I think she does a great job. In 2nd place is going to be Invincible. I really liked this episode and the main villain, and I really liked the ending, of course. And of course, the best part is Barry thinking he's invincible even though he isn't. Finally, in 1st place is obviously Running to Stand Still, Season 2, Episode 9, one of the best episodes in the entire show, with some of the best villains, and really just an entirety of a comic book film. So, besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. These are my thoughts on Season 2. If this video does well like the last one did, really good. I think at the time I'm recording it's 650 views, which is really good for my channel. So if this one does well again, I'll do Season 3 in a few more weeks. So besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.